Welcome once again to the Mojo Math and Science. In this lesson, we'll be looking at indices. We'll see addition and the subtraction law. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to treat multiplication, division, and also treat indices when raised to the power of 0. To ensure you continue to receive our lessons anytime we create lessons as this, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you are viewing us on YouTube. And if you are viewing us on Facebook, please do not forget to follow, like, and share this content with a friend. If you have a raised to power 2 times a raised to power 3, it is easy for me to conclude that this is a times a, that's the a raised to power 2, times my a times a times a, that's the a raised to power 3. Now if you count them together, you have a times a, that's second, 3, 4, and 5. So I can easily say that this is same thing as a raised to the power of 5. Now, if you look at it carefully, you see that this is a raised to power 2. 2 plus 3 is equal to what? Is equal to 5. So I can conclude that a raised to power 2 times a raised to power 3 is the same thing as a raised to power 2 plus 3. That's a raised to power what? 5. The same thing with what we have up here. Now, that brings me to the law of addition. Law of addition says that if you have a raised to power x times a raised to power y, it becomes a raised to power x plus y. The unique thing about the law of addition is that the base must be the same. Note that I have a here and I have a here. The powers are different and we add the powers together. Anytime you have multiplication, you sum up the powers. Now let's look at the law of division. Now look at it this way. If I have a raised to power 3 divided by a raised to power 2, you agree with me that this is the same thing as a raised to power 3 all over a raised to power 2. That's equals to a raised to power 3. That's a times a times a. So this 3 is not there. Let's remove this 3. All over a times a. So that if I do this, a cancels a cancels a, I'm left with how many a's? I'm left with 1a. So I can conclude that a raised to power 3 divided by a raised to power 2. Look at it, you have 1a, which is a raised to power what? 1. It's the same thing as a raised to power 3 minus 2. That's equal to a raised to power what? 1. So that I can now conclude with my law of division, my law of subtraction, to be a raised to power 3, a raised to power x. If I have a raised to power x divided by a raised to power y, it becomes a raised to power x minus y. Now, remember this is the law of addition. That's the law of addition. Here, I have the law here. I have the law of subtraction. While the law of addition works with multiplication, remember that the law of subtraction will work anytime you have what? Division. Now, remember another unique thing is that the base are always the same. If I have a raised to power x divided by b raised to power y, obviously I cannot apply these rules here. Even if I have a raised to power x, if it is times b raised to power y, I cannot also apply the rule here. It will not work in these unique circumstances. But when I have the bases are the same, whether you're having division, you're doing subtraction. If it is division, you go for the law of subtraction. If it is multiplication, you go for the law of addition. Let's take some little examples. Our first example says, if I have 18x raised to power 3 divided by 3x raised to power 2. Now, you know, the 18 and the 3 are numbers. So 18 can easily divide 3. And I have x raised to power 3 divided by x raised to power 2. Now that's the law of what? Subtraction. That's equals to 3 here is 1, 3 in 18 is 6. That's equal to 6x 3 minus 2 raised to power 1. That's quite easily done. Let's take a second example. My second example says 12x raised to power 4 y raised to power 3 divided by 3x raised to power 4 y raised to power 2. Now, when you look closely, you see we have two different numbers. We have x, we have y, and we have what? 12. Now, from here, I would say, please pause this video, try your hands on these. Okay, here's the result. Now, my 12, I have 12 over 3 times, let's take it one after the other. I have x, collect the x terms. X raised to power 4 divided by x raised to power 4. That's x raised to power 4 minus 4. Multiplied by, you have y. Y raised to power 3 divided by y raised to power 2. That's y raised to power 3 minus 2. That's equals to 3 here is 1, 3 here is 4. I have 4. X raised to power 4 minus 4. That's x raised to power 0. And y raised to power 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2, that's raised to power 1. Now, anything raised to power 0 is 1. So my x is same thing as 1, and this is 4 times 1 times y. That's equals to 4y. Thank you for staying with us. And once again, if this is your first time coming in contact with our channel, please do not hesitate to hit the subscribe button and subscribe to our channel. If you are viewing us on Facebook, do not hesitate to also follow us on Facebook, like and share our content.